man. They proved that that was true. Genetic splicing did indeed exist. And when they discovered DNA, they didn't come out and say, oh, that Elijah Muhammad was right. They're not going to confirm nothing by a black man, ever. That's why they got this poof theory. They ain't going to ever tell you the ancient story of Sumeria that tells you about a black race that came here, and these are the beings that set up and built the pyramids, put their ships in there, and they would come back and forth, and these the beings that said, let us make man. They would never tell you that that was a black race. That is our ancient history on this planet. So back to our day and time. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, look for a man. And he said, you know, the mother plane is here. This mother plane is here. It's out in orbit. I've spoken to NASA's head research scientist in Houston more than once, more than twice. And once this man and me and this man had this conversation, and I told him this. Listen to what I told him when I spoke to him. I said, listen, man, have you seen the day the earth stood still? I said, what I'm about to tell you is true, and you can check this out for yourself. I said the day the earth stood still was about a white guy that came here from another star system. They got him and put him in jail, and then, you know what happened after that. I said, well, the real story is that we have a black man that's here from this mother plane that's out in orbit that y'all call Planet X and Rilo 7. I'm telling him what they call it. I said, and this black man name is Dr. Malachi Z. York. He's the personification of an ancient being named Melchizedek, or the angel Michael, which are black men. They got you thinking about ghosts again. Angel Michael's a ghost. Angel Gabriel's a ghost. They poof and, they appear. Come on. They come in here from somewhere. So I explained that to him. I said, that story of the day the earth stood still is true. But it ain't a white guy that's here from another star system that they got in jail. It's a black man that's here from another star system that they have in jail. I said, so, you all are out there speculating what's out in orbit. I said, I'm telling you, if you want to know what's out there, go to the prison and interview this man. I sent him a book called Man from Planet Ritz. And if you want to read some profound, and I sent him a copy of this map that this brother Melchizedek, or Dr. Malachi Z. York, drew out of the 19th galaxy. The Quran is based on the sacred number 19 for this 19th galaxy, where these beings have been coming back and forth from. That's why the Quran is based on the sacred number 19. The angel Gabriel that came here, he came here from the 19th galaxy. So, I sent him a copy of Man from Planet Ritz. I sent him a copy of the map. In that map, Dr. York has put the 18th galaxy, which is our solar system, and he put all the planets, the mass, size, whether it was life on this planet or not. Well, guess what? They found life on some of these planets, and he been drew that map. And then right next to it, he drew the 19th galaxy, which is a tri-star solar system, 3 suns. Guess what? They discovered that. So, I sent this to this man. I heard that they went to see him. I don't know, but I heard that they went to see him, and they asked him if he would confirm certain things, they would help him get out. I heard that he got up and walked out. I don't know if that's true. That's something I heard, but forget that. Let's deal with truth and facts. But the truth and the facts is that I sent this to this man, and after that, that's what made me say, oh, I'm late for this. He already know that the ship is out there. We don't know. And that's why I said, let me start broadcasting. Because I ain't got time to be playing around with this thing. This is serious. And everybody told me, Jesus coming back. Jesus coming back. Well, how's he coming? If he is coming through the clouds again, he's going to be coming in something, coming from somewhere. That's a fact that we cannot get around. You can play around with it and want to sit up here and keep believing what the slave master taught us on the plantation. And Elijah Muhammad said this is a very important statement he made. He said, as long as we are telling the slave master's story and continue to tell the slave master's story, Jesus died for your sins, he came here for all that, they will stay in power over us. As soon as we get away from the slave master's story about our brother, we're going to have real freedom. Because that's a spell that they have on our people. And once we break that spell, we are free now. We all teaching the same story. We all telling the same thing. And that's what's important. We have got to start telling the truth about the Messiah Jesus so we can free our people. They have so many denominations in our community, it makes no sense whatsoever. 300 different churches in the area I grew up in, Inglewood, Chicago, and all these churches cannot come together because of the different denominations. Now, denom in nations. It's not denom, it's demon. Put the M and the N, switch the M and the N, you got demon in nations. And they have infiltrated our nation to the point that we have stagnated in this spellbound mentality. And we have got to break that spell on our people's mind so we can all be on the same page and prepare as a bride for the groom. Because this event is going to take place. And it's going to take place in our lifetimes. For those that's living, ain't nobody going to miss it. Believe it. It's going to be a profound experience. And again, these are the same beings that came and got Enoch, put him on a ship. Same beings that came and got Elijah, put him on a ship. Same beings that came and got Moses when he went up into the mount. You dig what I'm saying? The same people that when Israel was following the cloud, there was a ship in that cloud. That's what they call Jacob's ladder was going up and down because they saw beings coming up and down from this cloud. Well, it was a ship in this cloud. So they want you to think, again, about ghostly type of events and all this type of stuff. But the bottom line is that we have got to come to grips with who we are and why we're here and where do we come from. There is no such thing as death. Know that for a fact. They want to teach you about death because death is a fearful thing. We're afraid of the unknown, things that we don't know. And so when you talk about death, everybody's afraid of death. There's no such thing as death. That's why when Jesus went and met with Moses and Elijah, they appeared to him. They came from somewhere. And they looked like they did when they was on the planet. Now Moses was 2,000 years before Jesus. How could he look like how he did when he left the planet? Now Dr. York said that when these beings come, and all of them are on this mother plane, and I used to always ask this question. In the scripture it says, you will rejoice when you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I always ask the question, how am I going to rejoice when I see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? What did that mean? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is on this mother plane that Elijah Muhammad talked about. All of the prophets of the past are on this ship. They are coming here from their star system. You don't understand what's going on. When you come here, you incarnate into this body. We are all fallen angels. Our job is to get back to the one with the Most High. Back at one with the Most High. Dr. York is the most profound teacher in our day and time, and our people are in trouble because nobody knows about this man. Nobody knows about this man. You cannot have a man like this on the planet, and Elijah Muhammad, again, been proven by Moses himself, so we cannot disregard his message was to look for the man that comes with the language, and our language is the ancient language of the hieroglyphics. Nobody on the planet has that language. It's called Nawabi. Who are the people and who are we by blood? This is Black History Month. Let's talk about the real history. Damn that about back we from Africa. How did it get started in Africa? That's what we're talking about. Let's go deeper than Africa. It started in Africa, on the continent of Africa, but it came from another star system and it got started in Africa. That's how this all got started. By who? An ancient beings now called Nawapians. These Nawapians are ancient beings that came here from the 19th galaxy, of which Jesus was a Nawapian. Moses was a Nawapian. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Adam, Enoch, Methuselah, all of them bloodline of these Nawapians. Adam and Eve were the creation of these Nawapians that came here, and they spoke the language called Nawabic, the language of the hieroglyphics, and they studied a science called Nawapu. the study of sound right reasoning, right knowledge, and right understanding. They have taken this away from us where we have no sound judgments. We have no right reasoning, no reasoning, because they have replaced reasoning and sound and knowing with theatrics. You know, theatrics. Everything is theatrics. They've taken away our sound knowledge. Our reasoning factor has been eliminated. There's no reasoning going on whatsoever. So again, we are the descendants of these ancient people that came here from the star systems, that came and set up and built the pyramids and built these great monuments and been coming back and forth throughout time, but nobody's teaching us these things. That's who Jesus was. He was one of these beings. The angel Michael, angel Gabriel, all these angels were these beings that been coming back and forth throughout time. And we can't sit up here and say, oh, that's not possible. What do you mean it's not possible? They've been coming back and forth throughout time. Again, John the Baptist didn't know who he was. Jesus had to tell the people who he was. So how do you know who you are? You don't have a clue who you are. You don't have a clue where you're from. You don't have a clue why you're here. And you don't have a clue where you're going when you leave here. But let me tell you something. One of the rewards for getting back to being at one with the Most High, Dr. York said, is that you will leave this physical plane still fully conscious. That's a statement that I was floored when I heard it. He said the reward is you will pass through this physical life and be still fully conscious. So that means you step out of this body, you fully conscious of everything that's going on. That's why they teaching death. They want you to be fearful. Because through fear they can create, they can control. That's why their favorite pastime is recreation. Why is their favorite pastime recreation? Because that's what they do. They wreck creation. That's what they do. This is who they are. These are the fallen angels that have taken, these other fallen angels that have taken over this planet. They have no intentions of trying to get back to the one with the Most High. They have made their decision. Their decision is stamped. They are not going to do the right thing. They have no intention of doing the right thing. So that's why it's our duty to start talking about this, to bring this to our people. And I'm going to say this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to look for this man. And I was debating with some brothers from the Nation of Islam. In fact, we were down in Atlanta, and we was in the Shabazz Bakery, and get some bean pies. Them bean pies off the hook. I love them. And I had a brother there from the Nation of Islam, following Ms. Farrakhan. They had a brother there from this brother named Silas Muhammad, who was in Atlanta, all these were original followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Then you had another brother that was there following this other brother called Solomon, and I think Solomon is down in St. Louis somewhere, and you had another brother there who was a follower of the Imam Warith D. Muhammad. So anyway, I found myself in the midst of these four brothers who was from four different factions from Elijah Muhammad. When he passed, they broke and they split. So I found myself in the middle of these four different brothers, and we had a debate going. He's saying, well, brother, you know, Ms. Farrakhan is the one that we supposed to be following. I said, brother, Minister Farrakhan, we supposed to be following him until this man appear, according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said when this man show up, we have to get the information that this man has, because he coming here to renew the 76 trillion year history. So then you had another brother said, well, no, brother, we supposed to be following Silas Muhammad. And I was like, well, okay, you can follow who you want, but the instructions of the messenger is what's most important. Then the other brothers talking about Solomon, how we supposed to be following Solomon, and then other brothers talking about, well, no, brother, we supposed to be following this pale Arabs. You know what I'm saying? We all one Islamic community. I said, excuse me, brother. I'm a follower of Elijah Muhammad only. And anybody go against what he said is out of order. Now, this is what Elijah Muhammad said. And I'm a brother from the church. So if I'm a brother from the church and I can receive instructions like like nobody else, then everybody ought to be able to receive those same instructions. Quit talking about we supposed to follow this man. And no, we supposed to be following what Elijah Muhammad said, because he is the messenger and not the people that followed him. He is the messenger. And it's important for us to pay attention to what he said. He said the only way that we supposed to be following those pale Arabs is if you come to them and they acknowledge us as the people spoken of in their scripture, and they acknowledge Elijah Muhammad as a messenger raised amongst us after our 400-year bondage. And if they don't acknowledge us and don't acknowledge him, then later for their ass, they can get the hell on with that. Excuse my French. But that's what he said. Now, Ramadan. This is the month of Ramadan. December is the month of Ramadan. And I've been following Ramadan ever since I found out about it and through his teachings. He said we are a special people, and the pale Arabs didn't like it that we had our own Ramadan the month of December. So they was all upset. Well, what do y'all mean y'all got your own Ramadan? Elijah said, y'all can't come over here telling us nothing. And so I ain't following nobody else's Ramadan. I don't give a damn about none of that. He said our Ramadan is the month of December. That means all of the churches, everybody in our nation, the children of the slaves and the 400-year bondage, we're supposed to be doing the month of December Ramadan together because we special niggas. You absolutely right. Don't nobody want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I hear brother want to run and do the Ramadan with the other people. Okay, if you want to do that, knock yourself out. But that ain't got nothing to do with what the messenger said. I'm a follower of the messenger and what he said only. I'm not following nobody else. I'm not doing no Juma with them. Ain't none of that gonna take place. I don't give a damn what nobody say. The messenger is the messenger, and he was preparing us for the coming of the next man. And because we ain't listening to what the messenger said, we are missing something that is so critical, and we are living in such a historical moment that we ain't getting it. It ain't got nothing to do with whether you joined the Nation of Islam and follow Elijah Muhammad or not. The point is that man has given us a message, and his message is absolutely authentic, and we cannot afford to disregard what that brother said. So if you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Hindu, a Hare Krishna, or even an asshole, it don't matter. You got to listen to the message that the man gave us so you can be prepared to look for what's coming next, because what is coming next is already here and don't nobody even know it. So it's like we got a brother on the planet that we supposed to be looking for, but nobody seems to know that we supposed to be looking for him. That's outrageous. And if you want to know what an outrage is, that's an outrage. So the point is, we got to get back on our square. And all I can say is that when I was debating with the brother in Atlanta about Mr. Farrakhan, I said, brother, you're right. Mr. Farrakhan is the man he said to look to and follow him. I said, but he said until this man comes. So if Mr. Farrakhan is not saying and not leading the people to the man that Elijah Muhammad said to look for, then that means I can't listen to him either. I've got to go with what the messenger said. And that means Silas is supposed to be doing what the messenger said. That means Solomon is supposed to be doing what the messenger said. That means Mr. Farrakhan is supposed to be doing what the messenger said. That means Wallace D. Muhammad is supposed to be doing what the messenger said. And that's all there's to it. So with all these different factions, when everybody is doing what the messenger said, we can all come back together and be on the same page, listening to the profound information that Dr. Malachi Z. York has. There's nobody on the entire planet that has this information. Why? Because in the book of Daniel, he is called the Ancient of Days. And that's why Elijah Muhammad said, when this man comes, it has to be Allah, because only Allah could have this kind of information that he saw coming. So in the book of Daniel, it talks about some events that's going to take place in the Fourth Empire. So right now, we are living in the Fourth Empire. The Fourth Empire is And they'll put it on the Visa card just to let you know that there are 4 empires. Because remember what Jesus said. 3 have fallen and 1 is not yet. So when he said that, he was talking about the 3 fallen empires and the 1 that's to come, which would be the 4th. And the first empire was the Babylonian Empire, the Persian Empire. The second empire was the Greek Empire. The third empire was the Roman Empire. Look at your Visa card. They have it on there. V1 is the Roman 6 for the fall of the Roman Empire. S is sigma in Greek, and that stands, sigma is 6 in Greek, so that's for the fall of the Greek Empire. And then A is the numerical value for the Babylonian 6, so that means that that's for the fall of the Babylonian Empire. So that's the fall of the 3 that has fallen, and 1 is not yet. It's right there on your Visa card, 666. And that's what they put out, and they want everybody to carry. That's why I carry a MasterCard. I don't carry a Visa to this day for that reason. So we have to give information to our people so our people know what's really going on. This is not a joke. This is real. Their job is to mislead us. They have done a damn good job. All I can say is this. If Satan's job was to mislead the people, he going to heaven. That's all I got to say. Because he did his job. And it's our job to get back to our square. And that's all that's to it. Google or YouTube Dr. Malachi Z. York, The Descendants of Angels. You're going to hear something in there that's going to be so profound. You'll be like, oh my God. And Descendants of Angels, The Reality of Life After Death, The God in You. This man has written over 400 books. And all of them, like I said, you have got to hear the message that this man has and prepare you and your children for the event that's going to take place. Because again, the messenger said it very clearly in his book, The Theology of Time. In 1972, he said, when you see these ships coming, know for a fact that there's a civilization on these ships that look like you and your children. So we running around here in the street, our young people, these young boys out here, they are misusing creation. Jesus came here to give us the science of creation. As a man thinketh, by your word you will be either rewarded or condemned, and your power, your life and death lies in the power of the tongue, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That is the science of creation. As a man think. If you think you're a gangster and you talking like a gangster and you're going to be doing things that gangsters do. So you're creating your world by what you think, what you're saying, and what you're doing. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because what you do to others is going to happen to you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Jesus did not come to change that law. And if he did, there would be no more karma. It would have been eradicated. He didn't have the authority to eradicate the law of the Most High. Now, you want to say he had all power? Yes, he do have all power. But he didn't have power to eradicate the law of the Most High. That's why he came here to introduce us to the Most High. And these people took it and reversed it and switched it up and introduced us to him. Even when the people was getting down on their knees, he was picking them up. Oh, get up. I'm going to get in trouble. Y'all going to have me in trouble. When I get back, I got to report to this. They going to be like, hey, you had them down there following you. You be like, hey, I ain't had nobody. Them niggas was not following me. I told them niggas 1,000 times about you, Father. And what they decided to do, S on them. You follow what I'm saying? So really, this is what this is about. Getting back on point with the things that we must get on point about. And I'm going to say this. The problems that we are having in the street, I blame it on the followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who are in the positions of authority. And that goes for Solomon, Silas, Warf D. Muhammad, and Minister Farrakhan. These are the students of the messenger. And their job, devoted duty to the messenger, was to lead the people to this information when this brother get here from the mother plane. And when he got it, he said, hey, the messenger told you that there's black people on the mother plane. Y'all don't believe it? Okay, well, that's why I'm here. I'm from the mother plane. You believe me? And you don't have to believe him. But look at the information and let the information penetrate your mind. That information that that brother has brought to this planet has not been on this planet for tens of thousands, if not more, thousands of years. This man has brought this information back to us. He has spoken of throughout the prophecies, and he is the forerunner for this Messiah Jesus that's to come back to this planet. Just like John the Baptist was the forerunner 2,000 years ago, he is the forerunner for this Messiah that's coming today. He's the personification of Melchizedek. His name is Dr. Malachi Z. York. In ancient times of Babylon, in the ancient times of Samaria, he was known as Murdoch. In the ancient times of Abraham, he was known as Melchizedek. In the ancient times of Egypt, he was known as Tahuti, the scribe. And he's a scribe today. In the ancient time of Jesus, Melchizedek, Jesus was a high priest from the order of Melchizedek. In the times of the Prophet Muhammad, in the Quran, he's called El-Qadir. And in our day and time, he is back in our midst as Dr. Malachi Z. York, a personification of Melchizedek, the angel Michael, a black extraterrestrial being, letting us know we are the descendants of these angelic beings. That's why I say YouTube, descendants of angels. We as a people, our ancient history being that this is Black History Month, let's go to what the real history is, who you are by blood. In the scripture it says, Eve, there will be enmity, hatred between the woman's seed and the serpent's seed. We are the woman's seed. We represent the fish, and that's why we have lips. Then you have the serpent seed that have a slit. And that's why they hate us so much, because there will be hatred between the woman's seed and the serpent's seed. And so we are the woman's seed, who was a descendant of the ancient Nuwapians, who came here from the same star system that Jesus came here from, to tell us and to set the record straight, to give us the information on how to connect ourselves back to the Spirit of God that's within us. And so that's who we are. We are the descendants of the ancient Nuwapians who built up the pyramids, etc. Our language is called Nuwapic, which is the language of the hieroglyphics that nobody has on this planet but us. And he has formed the ancient Egyptian order. And that is bringing all the orders under that umbrella, so that nobody on this planet have this information but us. And he's offering it to you. And that's what this is all about. There's a bookstore on 7757, I think, South Ridgeland. And the sister name is Saket. Tell her Matt Glover sent you over there. Make sure you get over there to look at all of these books that this brother has written. Over 400 books written by this one man. Over 400, and everything is proven and documented. And like he always say, don't believe me. Check it out for yourself. So I'll say